When you bake your cakes on high heat, you are going to cause the raising agents in your cake batter to raise rapidly, and this will cause the outside of your cake to cook much quicker and brown much quicker than the inside of your cake batter. So the outside would get cooked and browned, and then the inside of your cake would be raw. That is where you have cases such as this, where your cakes sink in the middle the moment you bring them out of the oven. Once you slice into them, you'd see that it's raw on the inside. Another thing about baking your cakes on high heat is that once that happens, you are tempted to put the cakes back in the oven to bake. And when you do that, you are going to overbake the cake, because at this point your cake is going to have to stay much longer in the oven, and then it's going to be even browner until it gets burnt on the outside. When you bake your cakes on medium heat, your cakes tend to rise more rapidly as well, but not as rapid as that of the high heat. Now, when you bake your cakes on medium heat, the oven is quite hot, and so your cakes would rise and it tends to have a dome or a crack because the heat is a little bit high. When you bake your cakes on medium high heat, your cakes tend to not maintain that flat top when they bake in the oven. You also stand the risk of over baking your cake as well, because some oven temperatures for medium heat is actually quite high, especially depending on the quantity of butter in your pan and depending on the recipe as well. An overbaked cake simply means a cake that has overstayed in the oven, and as a result the cake would dry out. It would not be moist, it wouldn't be fluffy by the time it's baked. Now, when you bake your cakes on low heat, this is the best temperature to bake your cakes, and this is what I use all the time. When you bake your cakes on low heat, you stand the chance of actually baking a cake that comes out of the oven with a beautiful, perfect flat top. You stand a chance of baking a cake that comes out moist and very, very delicious and fluffy. Your cakes would not rapidly rise in the oven, neither would they overbake or get burned. They simply just bake slowly, and what that does is it helps in generating moisture in the cake. And so once your cake is baked all the way through and you bring it out of the oven and you allow the cake to cool, the cake just is moist. The cake is moist, the cake has a flat top, the cake is perfectly baked. However, the only downside to this is that your cakes would bake for longer. You bake on low heat, your cakes tend to bake for about 45 minutes to an hour, which takes a longer period. Low and slow baking is the best, but it does take a longer period. So I hope you found this helpful, and happy caking. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment, share it with people who would need this tip, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.